income cannot replace investment income for women between the age of 25 to 35 years old. All right. So that's the audience we are focusing on today, right? Why is it that work income and business income cannot replace investment income? I'll tell you. But before I go ahead to tell you, let's understand what work income is, what investment income is, and what business income is. Work income, in this context, we're using work income as that money that you are paid for working. You go to work, maybe you're 9 to 5, you go to work, or even if you work on the weekends, right? And then you work, and at the end of the month, or depending on how often you get your paycheck, you get paid. That's work income, right? You have to put time. Now there is business income. Some people, they don't work like regular work, they're not regular employees, but maybe they're business owners or self-employed, right? So they do their business, and at the end of it all, they get their money, right? And all of that. So this is what I mean by work income and business income. Then what is investment income? Investment income is that money you get from your investments, investment profits. So I'll give you an example. Say I invest in stock, and that particular stock, let's say I bought the stock for $10,000, and depending on the return on investment at the end of the year, which you can still divide into months, but let's just say at the end of the year you make a certain percentage. So that percentage is your investment income, right? And in this particular video, we are saying that work income and business income cannot replace investment income. Why? I'll tell you. It is because as a woman, right, sooner or later, motherhood is going to show up. Sometimes you may not even have planned it, right? Motherhood is going to show up. And the moment you start giving birth, in fact, the moment you get pregnant, everything changes, right? It's not whether you're a hard worker, and you may be a hard worker, but pregnancy will not even allow you to work, right? So of course the experience is different for everybody, but the point is that you are not in control of, you're not 100% in control of how things are going to turn out. If you need to be in the hospital because there's a complication, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to be in the hospital. If you depending on how the pregnancy goes, okay, if your child comes premature, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, child comes well and everything is going well, the first few months, you're a tiger, you're a tigress. But what you need to be with that child, you need to be with that child. If you are breastfeeding, you need to breastfeed the child, you need to breastfeed the child, right? Now, of course, many people can easily jump back into work, but is that really the best for you? Most mothers who also jump back into work, they're even jumping back filled with guilt. Their children need them, you have put that child away in a daycare, and here you are feeling guilty and everything. So the point is that as a woman, you are going to need time to perform motherhood related duties, and that immediately take away time that you are going to use either for work or for your business. So what you notice is that many women, the moment motherhood sets in, the moment pregnancy sets in, the moment child comes into the equation, right, all of a sudden it's like the time you used to have before is like you just have 30% of it for yourself. 30% of the time you used to have before. Maybe, a little bit here and there, depending on what the situation is. Some people, it is 90% of the time, like 10% of the time they used to have before, that's what they have. So what happens? Because you don't have time, your work will begin to suffer. Some people even have to take part-time job. They can no longer hold a full-time job as a mom, right? Especially at the early phase, when you have a growing baby in your stomach, right, or in your belly, or you have a newborn that you are caring for. And don't get me, like, before you say no, many women, even before the first child become 2 years old, a second child has arrived. Even before that second child grows, a third child has arrived. So this is a huge part, like from around that period of like 30 something to 40 something. As a woman, you are going to be busy dealing with children and all of this. What happens? Your time drops. Even if you have a business, and especially if that business is like a business where you are a key person in the business needs you to grow, your business is going to suffer, your work is going to suffer. A lot of women, they don't become the right candidate for promotion during this phase, right? So, like, it's like, we can take that route of, oh yeah, must it be so? Must it be so? Let's change it. Let's see, if you're a business owner, you even understand this statement more, right? You don't expect your boss to tell you to travel to New York to go close a deal, leaving the other people who can easily travel when you have a baby. Do you even want to do that, right? as a mom, this topic is for people who will soon be mom, like before your first child or your next child comes. We're talking about preparation here. So your work is going to suffer, your business is likely going to suffer, and the income from those things are going to drop. This is where your investment income comes in. If you have investment income, work income can drop, business income can drop, but investment income, especially stock investment income, they don't drop because you're pregnant. They don't drop because you're not there. Especially the type of investing that we teach, where you buy very profitable established companies, right? So those companies don't need you to run. Those companies don't need you to tender today. They don't need you to pick a call. They don't need you to respond to an email. The company grows anyways. It has all the CEOs and all the people managing it. And as a stock investor, you're a shareholder of that company, and you make profit once that company make profit. Remember, you are going to choose the companies that are making the biggest profits, right? Sustainably. So the beautiful thing about investment income, stock investment income to be precise, is that it does not need you. Does not need you to keep growing, does not need you to keep coming. So as a woman who, in the nearest future, you are going to maybe be getting married, giving birth to a child, or giving birth to your next child, if you can get investment income, you have solved more than half of your problem. It can help you to mitigate what we call motherhood related income interruption. All right, so I also mentioned about, like, when some people will be like, don't worry, my work is not going to suffer. If I'm pregnant, I'm still going to go and do work. Yeah, I already explained that sometimes it's not in your it's not that you want your work to suffer. It's that you just woke up, you can't get out of bed, you are vomiting, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or by the time you go to a board meeting, I have to take excuse to go vomit, or maybe you even vomited there. You're going to want to take a break. So sometimes it's not in your hands. But also, when you have a child already, let's say the child is already born, right? What also happens is that maternal instinct kicks in. What I mean by maternal instinct, let me give you an example. I laugh at myself now. All right. So I'm that kind of woman that'll be like, oh no, we're going to break the glass, break it, shatter it. So, like, pregnancy, what pregnancy did to me, you know how they be like, pregnancy humbled some people. Pregnancy humbled me. Why I say pregnancy humbled me is that I could not understand what was happening to my brain the moment I was pregnant. It's like, all the things you used to think about, no, nothing, I'm not going to do anything, my work first, the moment you are pregnant and that your body has gone through all those hormonal changes, right? In fact, sometimes it's as if you're even losing your ambition. And more importantly, you never want anything to happen to your child. In fact, you just want to be there for your child all the time. So don't use, if you are single right now or you've not given birth, don't use the eyes that, you don't think of what is happening with you now and the way you think about things now to imagine what will happen once you become a mother. Maternal instinct will kick in. You will start prioritizing your child. So, and this is going to affect your work, whether you like it or not. You're at work, they tell you your child have measles. You want to stay there. Why? By the time you get home and something have happened to that child, are you going to start all over again? You're going to leave that work and come. And by the time you are doing this, somehow you just know you're not the person to be the highest decision maker right now, especially if you are doing a 9-to-5 work, right? If you are doing a business too, you start taking lesser clients from time to time. So these things are going to drop. Whether directly or indirectly. All right, maybe that email you did not respond to quickly, and by the time you're responding to it, those people already found another partner to work with, right? So yes, maternal instinct will kick in. You are going to prioritize your child. So okay, let me tell you something else. One thing you need to know is that you can't just say, okay, When I give birth, I'll invest. No. For you to benefit from investment income, you have to invest early. You have to invest way, way, way before you need that investment, because you need your investment to grow. You need them to grow to the extent where the returns on your investment is now substantial. That means investing a lot of money. Yeah, yeah, I know some people will be like, start small. I'm not a fan of start small. I'm a fan of start big and go fast. Because if you want to use that money, let's say somebody is investing for retirement, it's normal for them to say, okay, start small before you reach 80 years and you need the money. The money will have grown. But if you want to use that money as a woman for the time when you are walking through motherhood, right, to support yourself, so that you don't fall into financial problems, you need that money. You need investment income to be substantial. That means you need to invest a lot. So this is not something you start doing where 1 month to your delivery date you start the or your baby is now here, you start investing. Why you may do that, you have to understand that means that's not the time you'll be reaping. And let me tell you, many people who wait until they give birth before they start investing, what they also realize is that the moment you give birth, your income shrink. Why? Remember, I mentioned that, okay, your income can be shrinking, right? But also your expenses increases, so you don't even have money to invest. When you have little children, right? For many people, they don't have money to invest at that time. So if you are waiting for motherhood to hit you before you start investing, my dear, you are making a big mistake. You have to invest way, way, way before. And I always add this because I don't want you to be hopeless, especially if you're watching me right now, you already have 1 or 2 children. It's like, you know how they say there's this proverb that says, when is the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago. But when is the next best time? The next best time is now, right? So meaning, if you missed this because at that point you have not come across me, also realize that the next best time to plant a tree is now. If you could not plant it 5 years ago, if you could not plant it 10 years ago, right? Don't give up hope. But I am saying that if you still have the time and you are hearing me right now, you have to start way, way, way before you have your first or next child. That's what I'm trying to say. All right? So, then you have to also know that investing without knowledge is equal to gambling. I'm not asking you to gamble. That's not what this video is about. I'm asking you to invest. Investing without knowledge is gambling. Investing without knowledge is gambling. And many people that tell you that they're investing, they're actually gambling because they don't know what they are doing. They just go into the stock market, they hear that one stock is rising, and they buy it. If you ask them, why are you buying this stock? They don't know. Therefore, they don't know when to sell the stock too. So when they also hear one bad news, they quickly sell the stock. This is how you lose money in the stock market. So stock investments can provide you enough profits and make you very rich, make you very financially secure. All right. But that is if you know what you are doing. If you don't know what you are doing, you are working on a ticking time bomb, and most likely you're going to lose your money, which will make matter worse for you. Right? This is why I'm inviting you to attend our free stock investing webinar so that you can understand more about how stock investments work or how stock investing works. So register for the upcoming webinar. I have added the link to the description of this video, but I can still say it out, which is www.investonomy.com/stocks. investonomy.com/stocks. All right. So register for the webinar. Come listen, come with an open mind, listen, hear the things so that you can even, like, before you even make the decision to invest or not to invest, it's wise for you to know how stock investing works, right? This thing somebody is asking you to do. Don't just go and invest in stocks because Dr. Linda said so. Don't do that. Learn how it works so that you can know how to do it and make money. I myself, right, in 2008, I bought stocks with all my savings, right? And then in 2009, I lost half of my net worth because the stock market went down and I sold all my stocks. All right? So I've long learned from that mistake. And the reason that mistake happened is because I just heard that stock is good and I went to buy stocks. Don't do that. That was a mistake I made long before now. And that is a mistake I would not want you to make. Learn how stock investing works before you start investing in stocks. That's my advice to you. All right, so register for our upcoming stock investing webinar. Go to www.investonomy.com/stocks. Register. I'll see you there. We'll see again. But above all, like what we are saying here, is that work income and business income cannot replace investment income, especially for women between the age of 25 to 35 years old. These are women who sooner or later they will be walking into motherhood, or maybe they're already in motherhood right now. You need investment income, and the earlier the better. All right, my name is Dr. Linda Pajuel, and I'm the CEO and founder of Investonomy. All right, so our main goal is to help women between the age of 25 to 35 years old to become stock investors. All right, take good care of yourself till I see you again. Bye.